Now presenting Mr. Mike Coyne, Governor's Hurricane Conference board member representing the National Weather Service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our next award is the Tropical Meteorology Award. It's presented to an individual or organization that has made outstanding or substantial contributions to the advancement and knowledge, application, or understanding of the hurricane forecasting and warning process in the state of Florida. Since 2004, Mr. Mike Boylan has been educating people about trends, model runs, and everything else tropical weather related through his website. He does not forecast, but his dedication and contributions to the citizens of Florida and providing tropical weather information in layman's terms, helping to explain what the forecast trends mean and how to follow all the extensive maps, charts, and graphs located on his website, Mike's weather page, aka spaghettimodels.com. The 2021 Tropical Meteorology Award goes to Mike Boylan of Mike's weather page.
Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Well, there'll always be some haters. They don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right. Good morning. What's up? How's everybody doing? Stressed out in the Caribbean, I guarantee you that. We have a lot of people on our page that have family, friends that live in Jamaica and Haiti and Dominican Republic, Caymans, Cuba, and then Bahamas. There's a lot of folks. I just saw a insensitive post saying they liked fish storms, and I'm like, well, it might be non-impact to you, but there's a lot of folks stressed out right now watching Melissa, and rightfully so. So I want to break it all down for you. Break it all down. Oh, my timer's still on. Man, yesterday I forgot it. Today I forgot to turn it off. Man, I always mess something up. Doc, I hear you, man. Yeah, well, hey, you know, some of the biggest hurricanes of the season are always late because that water down there is so hot. We have light wind shear. Hey, don't. What? What are you growling for? You never growl at me. What? You hurt? You got something that's bothering you, buddy? Huh? You okay? Give me a kiss. With Louis a little growler today. Twice now we've done that. I think I grabbed him and hurt his tummy or something. You okay, buddy? I didn't mean to hurt you. 2 times he's growled at me. I think I grabbed his stomach or something. I'll have to make sure he didn't have a bug bite or something. We had Talladega ants. Oh, man. I brought my speaker in from Talladega, and it had fire ants on it. Came into the RV, and I think Longo was licking them. I'm like, no! So we got into panic mode and got the dogs off the ground and got rid of the ants. So he's okay. He was okay. Man, it isn't a Talladega trip until you get bit by a fire ant from Alabama. They are the worst. And the beauty of the ant bites from Talladega is they stick around for months. It's a reminder of our trip. I'll look down at Christmas time. I'll be like, oh yeah, Talladega. We got ant bites. So how are y'all doing? We're going to talk weather, I promise, in a few minutes. Bermuda's watching. We got a lot of folks watching. It's hard to believe, we had a system called Raphael last year that formed in November that originally was pointing to Florida. Everybody was numb because of Helene and Milton, but there were spaghetti models early on that were pointing to Florida, and then it ended up going to the upper Gulf Coast, and then it did a 180 loop, but it was in November, It happens. Let's do a screenshot here. I think Louis wants to be put down. So let's do our screenshot, Louis. Let's look. Let's put a hat on Louis today. We'll do a little Storm Smart advertisement for Louis. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do a screenshot now. All right, you can get down, buddy. Make sure he doesn't have a hurt paw or something. You okay, buddy? Him and Longer were playing pretty hard today. Ghost dance. Key West. Yeah, Deanna. We're going to talk about some winds down there that could be sneaky coming. I don't have a coffee cup this morning, darn it. So we're going to say hi for a few minutes. A lot of people worried about a west movement. We believe and we trust spaghetti models, and we believe and we trust ensembles, so we don't make up scenarios until we see a pattern. And right now, pretty darn consistent that this thing is going to go off to the northeast eventually. Now, there has been some trends with maybe little less chance, little less of a guarantee of a Jamaican landfall. That's the trend of a little south, if anything, and we'll go over all that for sure. But yeah, he does wear the hats pretty good. Hello, TikTok, by the way. I don't have my comments up, so. And we're still blurry over on MWP chat. So, Commissioner, how you doing, sir? So, our Fridays begin with ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Of course, if you live in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. It's stable. My dad went there when I was a kid, and we love their support of MWP and all that they do for our state. So, we appreciate it. They've been supporters of mine for several years, and always think of them when you go out here. Now, I did get a couple packages. I want to say hello before I put these away. I love these handwritten letters, okay? So there was a very nice, let me cover up the phone number here. A letter from Southern Sweets, Jellies, and Jams. Taking you back to Ma's Kitchen. Mike and family, just a little gift for y'all. How much we enjoy following you and watching and all you do, and talking about pepper jam and delicious on cream cheese and crackers. Oh my God, I'm hungry already. Paula, thank you so much. So, just a random gift in our P.O. box, and I'm going to take him to my dad's here today because this is the kind of stuff that he loves. So, thank you. You see it there? Look at that. So, going in my stack of letters. One day I'll have hanging. So I always like to do show and tell, romper room sessions. So, Sean, what are you talking about? Most action I've had all season, and you're talking about hypothetical in the USA? What does that mean? Morning, Fort Myers, Deborah, home of Matt Devitt. We love Matt Devitt. Villages. Hey, I heard my buddy OMG Wicks is heading up there for a comedy show to the Villages. Have you heard that? Has Ian or Keisha chimed in? We got two regulars that live in Jamaica that I'm really worried about. Of course, anybody I'm worried about, but those two have been in our chat for years. Mr. Josh, good morning. Morning, Jacksonville. Melinda, how's everybody doing? Treasure Coast? Nah. Got an interesting setup. We're going to talk about it. Home with the car guys. Oh, that's right. That's right. You emailed Phil, car show. Good weekend for car shows, at least in Florida. But yeah. Oh God. We have a lady or man. I don't know. The name's gone. Lauren is flying out to Jamaica for storm relief. Well, that's good to help out for sure. Yeah, what the hell? Since I sensationalized my post, obviously I'm the most least. Posting that you might have a feeder band in Key West is not a hurricane. In the same post, it says storm is passing way east. And the NHC has now 10% chance of tropical storm force winds. And I don't get people. The harder I try to be as neutral as possible, somebody still finds a way to think that I'm hyping. Does anybody in here think I sensationalize? And then you get these posts that still think I do. So why do you even follow the page? Follow a real meteorologist. I'm a fake meteorologist. Why would you follow a fake meteorologist and then complain? Think about it. You're complaining about a fake meteorologist. It's like buying a veggie burger and say it doesn't taste like meat. Deborah, yeah, we might have a new center. It's a sloppy mess right now, this system. This is, we got two Bobby Blobby, are you in the Hurricane Harbor? We haven't had the double blobs in a long time. We got the double blob thing going on right now. We've seen this in the years past. Really odd. Like two blobs of convection around a storm. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody. I shouldn't even respond to people like that. I don't know. It just makes me laugh. I just don't know what they see that others don't see. I'm a model. I'm a good modelologist. That's for sure. All right, so let's talk about it. And I do say hi at the end, so stick around, and we'll that doesn't bother me as much as it used to, Faye. Trust me. It used to bother me. I could care less right now. You know why? Because there's a million people that I've met that I absolutely adore. We go to Talladega. We go to Alabama. Let me tell you a funny story last night. I said it when I was walking and talking, but two gentlemen from St. Mary's, Georgia recognized me right away, and they watch me every day from St. Mary's, Georgia. And they recognize, like, they're down visiting. I'm like, man, they're the people, man. The people are the people. The people I meet are awesome. So my buddy Sean from ABC has taught me well. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, I need to get things going here. So let's talk about things close to home first. So I'll go back to this again. So see this big old low pressure? This is a pretty powerful cold front right here, okay? We got a powerful cold front dipping, and it's going to bring a lot of weather. And this is actually what is going to pick up Melissa eventually, and hopefully after the Caribbean misses everybody else and gets on out of here. But it's not going to miss the Caribbean, so it's going to be something to seriously watch. But this is the front that's coming. That's going to lift and turn our system. So we do have some rain. Let me show you the rainfall totals. We got some heavy rain possible we're going to talk about real quick, and then we're going to get all into Melissa. But this is some big rain developing for the mid-Atlantic northward as we have an exiting frontal line Monday, Tuesday. We could see some coastal action. Yes, we could see some winds and waves again for parts of the Outer Banks northward, okay? So pay attention to that. Put this together. These are Tropical Tidbits models. Shared one yesterday. These are recent ones today. You can see a low pressure setting up. This is not Melissa. This is a low pressure nor'easter kind of setup. You're used to them. It's just important because that last one left a lot of impacts for folks. So it's important to let you know that there's a chance of something similar again. This is next Tuesday. So, coastal action. Melissa's still going to be down here off the screen somewhere. But pay attention, North Carolina northward. Could see a little sneaky stormy action along the coastline as this low might skirt kind of to the northeast. Here's your storm prediction center outlook. Here's today. We got storms in Texas today, and then going into Saturday, it spreads over to the upper Gulf region, Texas and Louisiana, and then on Sunday, it goes even farther towards Florida and Mississippi. I always get the Mississippi folks mad because most people don't mention Mississippi, but I always mention Mississippi. I can't spell Mississippi, but I mention Mississippi. How many S's are in Mississippi? I don't know. I never miss Mississippi. Talking about it. But anyway, watch for some storms on Sunday. Here's rainfall guidance. Heavy rain possible Friday. Here's Saturday. Heavy rain. Could be some flooding tomorrow. So if you got plans on a Saturday, pay attention. And on Sunday, it spreads a little bit over towards Florida, a little bit. There's Alabama, Mississippi. Good thing we didn't have the NASCAR race that day. And then on Monday, there's our rain setting up from when it exits, and then a little bit on Tuesday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Follow the front line. All right. Snow. Yes. I always get excited about the first snow of the year. Euro on the bottom, GFS on the top. Both showing hints of snow towards the end of the week as this front line whaps in some colder air. And yeah, it might happen on the very high altitude. Okay. Probably won't stick, but it's the sign of snow to come. So keep an eye on that. I know we got a lot of people that like to hang out with Smokies and go snow chasing. So there is a chance. The 540 line is dipping pretty far south. And we got cold weather we're going to talk about real quick. And then we go straight into Melissa, I promise. But I know we got people in Florida that don't believe me. But check this out. This is Wednesday. Okay. This is next Wednesday. Notice these 50s are already starting to show. 60s all the way down to Miami. This is Wednesday next week. Thursday, not really much colder up north, but now look at this. Holy cow, low 40s. This is Thursday morning. 52, 55 in Pinellas, 57 in Fort Myers. Now, this is the Euro. It's always a little cooler but it's always fun to dream. But we can see 50s down in Miami. Friday, Halloween morning, 53, 54, 55, 50s. And this is all because of that. This is even colder on Friday morning. Look at this one. This is 12Z. Holy cow. Could be 40s in rural parts of Pinellas, or Hillsborough, that is. Anyway, so cold air is coming for several days. I just wanted to talk about that. Okay. And why, I do want to show you why real quick. And then we'll go right into Melissa, I promise. A lot to talk about with Melissa. But why is this cold happening? We got a really unique setup here. I posted this yesterday. And if we go to the Euro tomorrow, or Wednesday. So this is the Wednesday setup. And if we put the winds on, this is fascinating to me. So remember I was saying the coastal possibility of some impacts as our frontal line escapes. So there is a low pressure showing here that could bring some winds and waves. Yes, 990 pressure. But what it's also doing is a couple things. It's fascinating, but it's circulating winds around it down. At the same time, these winds are now wrapping up into a developing Melissa. So all this is helping pump in extra cold air down into the state. That's neat as far as cold air goes. So we have a low here, turning, blowing air down, and then wrapping up around Melissa. Crazy, right? It's very crazy. All right, let's take a look at the double blob. So what's going on down here? What the heck? Still terribly organized as far as circulation goes. Got double blob action. This one's kind of pushing off here. We might have a new center maybe possibly trying to get going. Steering patterns don't change the overall patterns though. But it is getting a little better organized. I mean, it is starting to pop a lot more convection. Circulation-wise, the hurricane hunters are heading out there. I'm pretty sure they are. I haven't really heard officially, but I know they are. You know, there's a couple little lows trying to set up here. Circular, elongated low, very unorganized. A lot of wind shear, but it does look like this center is starting to take shape a little better around the mid-level. So it's definitely getting its act together. You got 500 millibar, So it's not really. It's actually getting a little bit organized. So if we mark this spot right here, just 1674. Remember that 1674. If you look at where the NHC map is, let's see where they mark it at. 1674. Nowhere right now. A white screen. Hello. 1674. Pretty much the same thing. See, 16, 15, 9, 75. So they're marking it at 1675. Well, actually, no. Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely. So they might move the center a little bit. They're marking the center here, about right there. So yeah, maybe it is a new center for me. Which in the steering pattern, I mean, I don't know how drastic it'll change anything, because the steering pattern's still drifting west. But it's interesting. We'll see if it changes anything. We'll have a new track at 11. There looks like it might make a new center location there. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so let's close the windows here. Here's what it looks like. Here's the latest track. Obviously, the M's are a major hurricane. We're starting to see that turn to the northeast as expected. Hurricane watches are in pink. Warnings, tropical storm warnings in blue. It's a big system. We're getting a lot of flooding rains all the way through DR, Haiti already, and flooding rains in Jamaica already. Eventual turn, and the cone is anywhere it could go. So we'll have a new cone at 11. It will get close to, Florida as far as the cone, but none of the models are suggesting that yet. Good news for Florida. So there you go. And it was chilly in Pinellas today, yes. Thank you, Christopher. So there's the latest track. We got a new one in an hour. All right, we'll keep an eye on what they think. It's always worth reading their discussions and what they're thinking. They're still expecting a Cat 4, I believe. Discussion-wise, 145 miles an hour. 145 is what they're expecting. If it stays south of Jamaica enough, then some of these serious winds might stay offshore. Some. However, rain is the biggest story of anything, is the flooding rain. The mountains just magnify things tremendously. Now, this is the tricky rain forecast. I wish they wouldn't do this 3-day forecast, because this is more of a end of Monday, Tuesday forecast we'll need to worry about. But anyway, it gives you the idea. And if that pink area shows up over anybody, I mean, that's 20 to 30 inches, okay? They're still showing 20 inches of rain for parts of Haiti the next 3 days, 16 inches for parts of Jamaica, and it's going to get more as we get into Monday, Tuesday. Even pockets of the Dominican Republic could get 8 to 12 inches. So it's a serious situation for flooding. Doesn't take a lot of rain to make serious flooding when you have a lot of mountains, unfortunately. Here is the chances of winds. If the Keys were to get tropical storm wind gusts, it would be Monday night into Tuesday. So there is a chance. I don't know why I got so much criticism for sharing this graphic yesterday, but I did. But anyway, large system, could see some outer bands reach tropical storm force winds for South Florida. The winds will be coming in pretty strong initially from the north as this thing wraps around So we'll keep an eye on this graphic at 11. We'll see. You know, if it does shift a little bit to the east, then maybe this whole clump will move with it. So we'll see about that. Latest spaghetti models just came out. This is where the confidence is really strong right now that this thing's going to turn west and then turn northeast. I mean, this is high. Even the GFS is finally back with everybody else. I mean, the GFS was such a bad outlier that didn't make sense. It was predicting this thing was going to get organized too fast, and it never did. Obviously, it was going straight over Hispaniola. But the red is the GFS. Now it is in line. The UKA, usually one of the best models, is not doing anything with development. Far west outlier for sure, but this is a really tight cluster. You know, we're still getting parts of Jamaica though that are underneath that direct landfall. So, you know, it's, you know, the best scenario would be if it stayed west longer and missed at least Jamaica, but then you had to worry about the Caymans. So somebody's going to get it. I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's still going to be a strong hurricane when it exits. These are time stamps, by the way. 120 is 5 days from now. 6 days is 144. 168 is 7 days. So it kind of gives you an idea of time stamps on that. So there's that. Yeah, there's a tighter cluster. We got a high pressure coming in over the weekend that's going to likely drive our system a little bit off to the west some before that front line comes down, lifts it, and turns it off in that direction. So we got a lot of ensembles here from to look at past 6-7 days. You know, Bermuda's definitely in the possibility of getting another direct hit. That would be around the 30th, close to Halloween. We're starting to see a fanning out of some strong members. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that possibility. The folks up there know Sandy all too well. Not to say this is going to happen, but it can happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anytime there's any sort of ensembles fanning out, you know, we watch. We're going to have this big low coming in that could attract it, you know, or it just goes off to sea. So, but these are your Eagle members, which did pretty good. I think it was with El Lorenzo. Here are your latest Google DeepMind. Everybody's using Google DeepMind now, so we're going to start sharing them more and more. And they are, you know, they have a few turning up there. They have a lot that don't, but just to keep an eye open on that idea. Obviously, Florida doesn't have any. This is the center line, though. Euro does have one now that's close, but 1 out of 51. But the Euro also has a few turning up towards Nova Scotia. So that's just something to keep an eye on, you know. Long range. Be a week from now. So we'll keep an eye on that. Ensembles. Let's take a look at the latest ensembles. Let's zoom in here really super duper close here. Well, actually, let's go all the way up here like this. And believe it or not, we might as well talk about it. There's a little spot that I've been watching in the lower Caribbean the first part of November that might be something, maybe a little something. We'll keep an eye on that, but nothing. I ain't gonna worry about it right now. But here's, you know, your latest Euro. Obviously, we just showed the Euro, but this gives you an idea how, you know, some of them go west before we turn. Farther west it goes, the stronger it likely will get. It's going to have a lot of time over the lighter wind shear and warmer waters. Then it reacts to that turn, and some of these members really accelerate it. All right, this would be Wednesday morning. So if it came to Bermuda, it could be there as early as Thursday, which is the 30th. And then here's the majority of them turning up. Like I said, there's one member. You know, anytime you get something close, like I said, I mean, we got folks that are cruising. You got Bahamas. I'm sure you're already seeing things get canceled because of this storm. And there's your majority are pulling away to the northeast. But there are some turning. That's just something I casually mentioned. So that's a euro. I'm not going to show the GFS because it's been wrong the whole time. But let's look at the Google DeepMind, GDM. There's the majority of them. And the more cyclone specific. And pink is powerful. Pink is like unbelievably powerful. These maps that I share here, notice the euro, for example. But these are your pressure on 50. So there's 51 members. And every one of the members here, you can see the actual pressure and what was predicted. Farther west this thing goes, then the likelihood is a stronger system because it's going to have more time, less land interaction, and more warm water. So there's that. Let's talk about individual model runs. We might as well. We always do. Let's look at the euro. And then we'll look at some higher resolution models for intensity. But when we look at the 6Z, there's a euro starting to move on out. Here's that coastal low. A little nor'easter setup really deepens. I mean, that's a story in itself. I mean, this is next Thursday, 976 pressure. That could be really windy. And I shared it yesterday, and it's still there. So that's an interesting, pretty strong little system for the New England area. Not Melissa, but looking at wind gusts for Thursday. Here's this coastal little low forming. It's decent winds, man. Cape Cod, look at that. I mean, you could get some, it could be 978 pressure. That'd be some big winds. Nantucket. So we'll keep an eye on that idea of a nor'easter style low pressure system. Definitely going to bring in some snow possibilities to New York. Has our would it be the first one of the season? Here's a mixture of snow as it goes in. Rain and snow. All right, back to Melissa. All right, so there's that. Now, Bermuda, obviously watching closely. Man, look at that. Both runs of the euro did the same thing. All right, but unfortunately, the euro is going almost smack dab over Bermuda again. This would be Saturday morning. It would be on approach. And you can see it go off to sea. A Euro AI, a little bit more up to Newfoundland. That would be Saturday, Saturday. Canadian, really the farthest west outlier, and it kind of goes up towards Nova Scotia. Also showing that coastal low here on Tuesday. And Icon doesn't really run out that far. Icon showing that little coastal low on Tuesday. So that's all making sense. I debated posting it yesterday, but it's definitely panning out the same. Hard freeze in Indiana, Nancy Powers. I believe it. Lisa, 976 is not nothing. You're right. It is. 976 is low pressure. Pressures bring winds. That's the way it goes. Winds. All right. Let's look at the high resolution hurricane models here. Let's look at the latest HWAR for Melissa. Looking at intensity. Unfortunately, it's still strong. 930 range. Goes again. These models, I tell you what, let's go look at something real quick. Let's see who's been the top performing model for track so far. There's a site here, Brian Tang's website, that shows who's been the best so far as tracks go. And it's still the HMON. Look at the GFS, terrible. This is big, taller the graph, the worse they did. CMC, the second worst. UK, terrible. But the Haas B, no, it didn't do good in 24 hours. So HMON's been doing pretty good. HMON, the HCCA model has been doing the best, even over the official. So we're going to look at the HCCA model. That seems to be the best performing model. It's not really a model; it's a cluster of models. But as far as the high intensity models go, they've all done pretty good, I guess. The only one that's bad in 24 hours was the Canadian model. But overall, 2-day tracks. So anyway, let's say H4's not bad. So here's what the H4. So we'll all take them with a grain of salt, except for the Canadian and the UK. But this would be the best case scenario for Jamaica, is going south and then hooking around and maybe missing the Caymans. That would be the best scenario. They'd all still get effects. Rain, yeah, but the winds. Still 931 pressured system crossing Cuba. And then, we got folks in the Bahamas here. 947. It's still a powerful hurricane as it goes over there. Timing would be Cuba like Tuesday. And then the Bahamas Wednesday on this run. All right. Haas A. Let's see what it's doing. Taking its time to develop south of Jamaica. Good trend, right? And then it turns up into Jamaica. Bad trend. So that's kind of what's been shown on the spaghetti, is staying to the south and then turning north. But it would be a 931, 928. Powerful hurricane. And you can notice how it's getting wider. And then Haas B, 930, 931, 929. Yeah, so Jamaica's really got a lot to watch here. There's a crossover coming there. So your powerful HMON is the only one I didn't do. And it's tracking around Jamaica there. They're all showing a powerful 920 millibar or 930 millibar system. And then it really expands it. All right, so there's that. So still, nothing's really changed. Jamaica's still really got a powerful storm coming with a landfall likely, if you had to say yes or no. Let's look at some other stuff here. I don't know what to look at. Let's look at trends, I guess, with the euro. I like to do this. The euro has been pretty consistent. Darkest blue is the most recent. HMON kind of trending towards Jamaica a little bit now. Haas B right over Jamaica. CTCX has done more trending. It's been right down the middle. HCCA is the one that's been the best performing, and it's still hooking around Jamaica. I mean, that would be the best scenario. That's kind of what the NHC track is, if you think about it. So the NHC track, look at that dark blue. If you look at the NHC track, it's almost the same as far as the center line goes. So you can tell that they're really, that HCC line is, if you look at that, and then look at that, it's almost the same. And the consensus models are still a little bit more east, which is surprisingly, but I think they might take into account maybe the GFS. I'm not sure, the formula. But the NAC is not going off the TVC in line right now. Here's the official marks. And this has been the last 6 cycles of the official NAC track. And it's been pretty consistent. So the darkest blue is the most recent NAC track. So there you go. I mean, you know, you look at the winds. I mean, you look at these high resolution models. They're definitely showing some pretty big winds here. Let's look at the 10-meter winds here on the some of these forecasts. You know, 118 knots. That's the crossover. 121 knots. That's powerful. That's kind of what it would look like. And you can see these, you know, some of these winds might reach the Keys. I mean, I don't know why people think that's hype, but it's, you know, could get some tropical storm force winds in the Key. I mean, it hurt people's feelings when I say that. Here are, man, that's big old eye right there. There's 117 knots on the HMON. The Haas knots are on a different storm there. It would be a tiny little eye wall, but still powerful. It'd be 138 knots. Holy moly. That would be powerful. 120 knots. So you get the idea. The winds are going to be quite strong. An expanding system. What's going on here? Is that 12Z? No, 6Z didn't run on this one. Huh. Still running maybe. No? Didn't do a good job on this run. Huh. Well, anyway, here's the Haas B. 00Z, 109 knots. Yeah. Wow, man. So that's it. Got a powerful storm. Nothing's changed. What is a mile spread of uncertainty? I don't know if they do. It's kind of your cone, honestly. I mean, I would assume the best way to do it is look at the cone. Cone is kind of your track error. Oh, Loretta Reed, good morning. So that's about it for me. Andrea, what's up, Jackie? Wave heights. Hey, glad you asked that. I actually have that open. I'm glad you mentioned that. I have it open right here. David. So here's an idea of the max wave height. This is an extreme measurement tool, but it shows you as it develops, we start to see purple, which is 30 upwards. Max here 49. This would be Sunday. So you can see the slow development. 29 is red. Anything yellow is 10. So notice the East Coast here. We got a front line coming down. So these winds are coming in out ahead of that front line. And we can see some periods of rough weather here across even Florida on Sunday. 10, 15 foot seas out there. But the overall storm itself really gets going here. 57 foot. Let's go to 00Z. And really starts to expand tremendously, actually. I mean, this is the Euro, but we're talking 70 foot into Cuba there, and then there's the Bahamas. So even on an exit, you know, we could see some pretty big waves. 30, 40, 50 foot, 71 max. And it really expands towards Bermuda. So this would be, God, it's so far away. This is Halloween. Jeez, this is a week from now. But we can see some East Coast action. Nothing, haven't seen all year, but those are, that's pretty potent. And if you go to the Eastern Seaboard, depending on if this thing turns or not, that'll be something to watch, just to casually watch. Let's see the Eastern Seaboard. Now we're going to see the waves. Two things we're going to see. First, we're going to see the waves for Carolinas from that first low. So, there you go again. I mean, Outer Banks. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, as that low pressure comes in off of the mid-Atlantic there. And then, hopefully it stays far enough away that we don't get a lot into the East Coast. Let's zoom in a little bit more on the waves here. So that first, well, it doesn't really come in that good, but I mean, you can we can still see, this is Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, we can still see that if that coastal low develops off from that front line, you got 20, 30 foot seas out there off of the areas that have been already dealing with a lot of trouble. Waves. Where's the waves map? Here's the wave map. Here's that coastal low. Yeah, I mean, 20 foot seas possibly. This is not Melissa. This is the frontal line low that's exiting Tuesday. Allman Brothers. Hey, Karen, look at you. I know what you're talking about. Hey, so about 6 weeks from now, we got a huge party. The end of the season benefit, Neighbors Helping Neighbors benefit party, okay? It's at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale. You can come Friday and hang. We got a band. We got a formal dinner. We're doing gift raffle baskets. We're raising money for charity. I'll be there speaking. We got sponsors. Furman's flying in. We're going to have open good times. Details are right here on the Facebook page. Actually, I uploaded my site. I forgot to put the link back up here, but I'll have a link right here right after we're live. So, but Facebook's got an event. You can look. We got amazing rates. Like, they gave us a crazy discount if you camp, and we have cabins. They got 2 pools. We're going to party Friday night and Saturday night if you want to stay, hang out with your weather family. So check it out. We've already got a bunch of cabins and RV spots booked, and the band is phenomenal. And it'll be a great time for a good cause. So check it out. Shelly just shared it there, the events. So 1st of November, yeah, Michael, we talk a little bit about that. Let me just show you real quick because we like to look long range. I've been seeing it on the GFS a lot, but I also see it on the Euro blend. But there has been a CAG style setup first week in November. We had Raphael last year. It happens. So, we're just casually keeping an eye on low pressure here the first week of November. It's been popping on the GFS a lot. Euro really hasn't showed it, but it is on the ensembles now. And that's where I usually like to look for an idea for that. So, yeah, I got my eye on it. Nothing worked up yet about it, but you never know. You got kind of a CAG set up down here brewing with some winds. You can see it on the Euro long range, but nothing popping on the Euro yet. But if we look at the blend of models, we are starting to see a little bit of Euro PN color down there. 10 days out. So that little area is what the GFS is showing too. So casually watching the idea, and it can happen. It's happened before. Let's look at some SpaghettiOs on the euro. We all love SpaghettiOs. So there's a few members. See that? On the euro. So yeah, I mean, there you go. I forgot I was going to mention it on my lives and my walks, but not a post, because Cayman Islands, yes, Heather, I think you need to really watch it. The Caymans, if this thing drifts a little to the west. Now, we might have a new center posted. I mean, got a new track coming out in 35, 40 minutes in NHC. But yeah, you're close. Yeah, definitely Caymans are going to be watching super duper close. Water temps will be, they're dropping quick, Ian. They are still warm. 87 down there in, but we're getting close to the, tropics. 80 degrees is the quote number, and I've seen them as low as 78, 79, but they are dropping, and they'll drop more. The angle of the sun is less. That's the big thing. Less sunshine, less direct sunshine, cold fronts, everything starts to cool down. But historically, we're still above normal. It doesn't sound possible, but we are above normal. And ocean heat content. When this thing turns into a Cat 3, 4, 5, you're gonna all the ones saying it's impossible for that to happen in late October are going to be proven wrong, because it can happen. The anomaly map here shows degrees above normal, and doesn't mean anything. You got to have everything else lined up, but history repeats itself, and we've had storms in the past. So let's see. All right, let's see. Why is it not open there? Come on, quack, 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 quack. What's going on here? It's not opening. Well, that's a bummer. Why is this not opening? Maybe it's shut down because of the government. I don't know. It probably is. I haven't used it in a while. But Levi's got the same thing on here. This is temperatures above normal. It's above normal. CAG setup daddy. Yep, that's exactly right. James, 100% Bermuda's watching. We have a lot of folks in Bermuda, 100%. Eric, correct. There's been hurricanes in late October. So anyway, what is any other things? Hey, Chris Hargis, what's up? Lowest pressure ever was in November with Wilma. Good point. We have a Oktoberfest this weekend here at Tampa Bay Downs. Check it out. My local Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce puts it on. Great time. They have a carnival. Remember carnivals? I always think of Greece when I think of carnivals, but they have a big carnival, and they have a lot of adult games too. I did the beer stein thing. My arm still hurts. So I did something to it, so I won't be winning any prizes. But I cheated one year, and man, I had people mad at me. They're like, "He's cheating." Oh, I did the Waves doc already. I'm sorry. Cold weather's coming. Yep. Storm surge. Too early, I think. I don't know. The only site that I have the Sierra map, and I think it updates real time. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's deep water there, so maybe it's correct. I'm not too up on storm surge in the Caribbean, honestly. So the answer to that is I don't know. We covered a lot of weather today, though, so I feel good. It was a good little live. For sure. Go Bucks, Jake. I like it. Halloween hurricanes. I'm sure there has been, Becky. Bobby, what's up? Nothing. Just chilling out. I could do a dunk tank. That'd be kind of fun. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to sign off. We'll probably be live tomorrow. Pay attention. We don't know what time. It's either going to be 8 or 5. If we're not on at 8, what time's that thing tomorrow? So we go after that. So it'll be 8 a.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be live on a Saturday to get everybody up to date. So, morning, James. See you, buddy. See you tomorrow. Oh, 5, not 4. Okay. It'll be 5 p.m. somewhere, 5 o'clock somewhere, or 8 a.m. Probably 5 p.m. Let's do 5 p.m. officially. 5 p.m. tomorrow night. We'll be live, okay? And I'll try not to sensationalize any posts about the U.S. Don't follow a non-meteorologist and then be mad because the rookie said something you didn't like. Are we still blurry on MWP chat? Race City Music. Hey, that sounds like a cool music group, Mark. 5 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, yes. Confirmed. We're still blurry. Well, maybe we get a message back from our folks. Karen, hey, you keeping your guy James in line? Is Richard Reimer still in the chat? Gisela. Is it Gisela? Or tell me how you pronounce your name. I'm terrible with names. Eric, you got any car shows this weekend? Still blurry, Chuck. I got it. Everybody's blurry. It's Friday. We're blurry. For 5. Yeah, 5 o'clock. 5 p.m. Cool. Hey, Richard. So Richard's in our YouTube chat. Richard, I was looking at your card a little bit more. You did a great job, man. So Richard's a fan, and I met him. And look at this card he put together. I love it, man. I really didn't. I'm bad about. Yep, she scratched your ticket off. Richard sent a scratch off to Julie, but we did not win. But the card is a winner. And he got a picture of us together. We got a picture of the dogs. So that was really nice of you. I really appreciate it. And it will go into my. And it's got the Rays on there. So I really appreciate it. But James and Karen, you're in there too. They came over to watch Emily play softball. But that was nice. So I'm glad you were there. I wanted to make sure I have some other cool stuff for tomorrow to show too. Jamaica's definitely got impacts, yes. Unfortunately. Looks strong. So high surf advisors coming in for Miami. Gisela. I like it. All right, well, we're going to sign off. I think Julie had somebody coming at 11, so I got to up. Oh, man, we got somebody from Jamaica. O'Shane. Man, we're thinking of you down there. We have quite a few regulars that pop in, so we're really more than ever, connected to the islands. When I first started this, obviously I only cared about Florida, and over the years it's changed a lot, and we've met people and became friends with people, and it doesn't matter where you're from. I'm going to talk about the tropics, so that's the way it goes. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you. I'm going to stick around on the Brew Crew side, and we'll be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. I wish I could play Alan Jackson's 5 o'clock somewhere without getting copyrighted, but we can all kind of hum it together, you know. You see, I didn't put my tag on, but there's my new tag, MWP. Is that awesome? I put a 3 on it for Earnhardt. Endless summer, because that's what it's like. We might be tracking storms in November. It should say endless hurricane season.